Who remembers the map Haunted Mines? It's a funny thought to me that there are people playing Heroes of the Storm currently that have never played this map. Perhaps they didn't even know it existed, despite playing a huge role in the history of the game. So what is Haunted Mines and what happened to it? Let's answer those questions. So Haunted Mines is a 2-lane map set in the realm of the Raven Court, the same style as Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom. But the really unique thing about this map, something that no other MOBA has ever replicated, is that it had a secondary layer to it, the Haunted Mines, accessible by a number of portals in the centre of the map. Players would therefore have to juggle responsibilities on both maps. You had laning and camps on the main map and the objective in the mines. Players were required to kill an undead army and collect their skulls. There were several packs of easy to defeat undead and one grave golem in the centre of the mines. With 100 skulls up for grabs, the number you collected ultimately determined how strong of a bone golem you were given to push your lane. Both teams were given a bone golem regardless of the number of skulls, but the health would virtually be nothing if you had 0. And one more thing to mention, the golems would not spawn until all 100 skulls were collected, so it could actually be advantageous for teams to leave the last couple of skulls in the mines until a more opportune time to push presented itself. So what was the issue then, and why did it finally get taken from the map rotation on the 16th of October 2018? Well, it was a combination of a few reasons. The first was a laundry list of bugs. Sure, the mechanic of having a second map was really unique, but it had lots of strange issues and too many for the devs to keep up with. The second reason was that the bone golems were trivially weak early game. It was incredibly common for teams to defer the mines and just focus on laning as a result. Teams that opted for getting a 100 skull bone golem could have both forts removed before they could even resurface. The tactic was therefore to send an assassin or two in to clear the easily accessible undead to get some quick skulls and then return to laning. The aim was to get just under 60 skulls, because at 60 skulls was the threshold at which the golem will no longer scale. So by banking 59 skulls, you will already have the better bone golem that continue to scale with time until you want to drop them on the map. Before being completely removed, the map did actually get reworked. It was removed from rotation originally on the 17th of November 2015 and returned on the 14th of December 2016, over a year later. The main rework was that golems would no longer be resurrected in the same spot. You see, at launch, your bone golem would effectively only ever push one lane, meaning if you got a lead early, either through grabbing skulls or, as I mentioned, pushing down a couple of forts, your golem would just go straight for the keep, which is crazy only a couple minutes into the game. This made it one of the most snowballing maps ever created, although it still had its issues, so it was removed, never to return to the standard rotation. Two bits of good news though, you can still play Haunted Mines if you wish. It's available only as a custom game, and for a time there was a brawl inspired by the map. If you have 9 friends, you can see what life was like back in 2015, but if you don't, then you can always play with those super intelligent bots. The other bit of good news is that we've seen Haunted Mines being used in a couple of pro games casted by Caldor in recent times, so if you want to see firsthand how it can be played effectively at that level, then those videos are available. So, what do you think? Firstly, do you remember the Haunted Mines? And if you do, would you like to see them return to the standard rotation, or are you glad they're gone forever?